As members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, we have a seemingly endless list of responsibilities. We have responsibilities to our spouse or our significant others, our children, our friends, our callings, our employers, and last but not least, the Lord. We must also be responsible citizens. Where does it end? From the 12th article of faith, it says, "We believe in being subject to kings, presidents, rulers, and magistrates, in obeying and honoring and sustaining the law." Today, I would like to address the right we have to protect ourselves. This right is guaranteed by the Second Amendment to the United States Constitution. It is the right to bear arms. From a book published by Barnes & Noble titled "The Constitution of the United States of America and the Selected Writings of the Founding Fathers," it reads, "A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed." Actively protecting self and family is becoming more and more a topic of a necessary debate, and it must be openly discussed. Most of us remember where we were or what we were doing the day we heard about a place called Columbine, Colorado, or Sandy Hook Elementary School in Newtown, Connecticut. There have been headlines made in cities such as Charleston, Houston, Atlanta, and Los Angeles. All of these incidents include shooters causing widespread panic, injury, and death. Where do you stand on this topic? Here are some things to think about. With the aforementioned incidents and others like it making near daily headlines, there have been a lot of discussion by national leaders just how to correct the problem. Some are in favor of limiting the general population's access to weapons and ammunition. Others are in favor of broadening the access. Others' opponents say the right to bear arms applies only to law enforcement and the military. I think the solution is to take guns away from citizens entirely. Well, that's all fine and good, but how do they plan on taking guns away from the criminals illegally getting and using these guns to commit crimes? Chicago is a city with this distinction of having the most gun-related crimes. Ironically, it's also the city with the strictest gun control laws. I'm not convinced the criminals committing these crimes are concerned about the legalities of gun ownership. Taking guns away from those entitled to have them does not solve the problem. I'm in favor of upholding and obeying the laws of our land. If politicians are truly interested in engaging in a realistic gun control debate, there might be consideration given to a full mental health background check, which would be as thorough and exhaustive as the criminal background check necessary to purchase a weapon or when applying for a carry conceal permit. Relative to the incidents of the mass shootings that have riveted this country of late, the mental health of the shooter has been brought into question and later determined that they heard voices or felt an obligation to right what they decided was a societal wrong. Conversely, there have been instances where a local shopkeeper or a homeowner have had to use deadly force in the face of a life-threatening situation or home invasion. During their investigation, the police determined the use of force was justified and the firearm used was legally purchased and registered. Consequently, no charges were filed against the gun owner. Whether or not to own a gun is undoubtedly one of the biggest responsibilities we as Americans voluntarily accept. It's not a decision that can be made lightly or considered frivolously. Rather, it should be made with fasting and prayer. The church has encouraged members to be prepared for emergencies by having 1 year's worth of food, clothing, and finances, and where possible, fuel on hand. By extension, shouldn't this include being able to protect ourselves and our family? As citizens, you have to make the choice about what degree you are willing to go to protect your family. Whether the decision is made to own a handgun it's critical to important.